and I can get the fridge lid all the way open and it'll stay there from the back of the cruiser with the drop down slide. But when the Engel's in the back of the Zook and I'm trying to load the milk up, it's a two-handed operation. Simply because the lid won't stay up. In this episode of Lock Your Hubs 4-wheel driving, we're going to be trying to fix that with a gas strut. So let's get into it. Okay, so I've taken the cover off the Engel and I've tipped it up on its end so I can work on it nice and easily. And this is a strut. Now if you want to know more about covers, well, I've had a bit of an interesting video on covers. If you want to have a look at that, I'll put the link up there. Now this is the strut and it's come from the Strut shop, as you can see here. I'll leave a link for those guys as well. I'm not affiliated or anyway with the Strut shop. I pay good money for this as well as you might do. So the instructions say we have to measure 80mm in from the end, which you can see is done here. Now, so the mounting holes in between these two are 35mm, so that'd be what, 17.5mm from either side of that. So I'll do it right side up for me. And 35mm. So now we've got our mounting holes. Okay, now we've put the mounting holes in there, probably halfway in between these two, and that's usually about 25mm, so it'll be about 12mm. Well, the face seems to be about 20mm, so I'll put it at about 10mm mark. So we've got our 2 marks there now to drill. Now, to do the other side, it's going to have to be when the units actually compress. So I'll compress it now and we'll show you how we're going to do that. So as you can see, all I've done now is grabbed one of the tie downs from my drop down fridge slide and I've compressed the gas strut and put it over the top. So all I have to do now is line up the top here and I've got our marks down here on the bottom. So I'll just mark them off with the black texter. Now for the centre punch and then the drilling. Now we're just going to simply centre punch the holes. With that done, we're going to grab a small drill bit. I'll grab my 3mm drill bit and we're just going to drill through slightly for a pilot hole. And we're going to step it up in two goes. Next one, this is 3mm. My final diameter will be 9mm and I'll step up now to a 6mm. And last but not least, our 9mm. And you'll notice on the 9mm I've actually got a drill stop here because in the immortal words of the Lizard King, I don't want to break on through to the other side. Oh, and that dropped off. That's working well for me. I'll have to tighten that up. Or I can just do it without it. Righto, now you may well be asking yourself, why the heck did you drill so large? And the reason is, I'm actually going to use rivnuts. Now, those who haven't seen rivnuts before, and I'll see if I can get a bit closer on that one. They're essentially a nut that you rivet in. So if you can't access the back side, which I can't on this one, the thread is in there. So you just put it in and you put it in like a rivet, close it up, it shuts on the back side and you have a nut. So you can see on these rivnuts, There's a spline running along the edge there, and I find they tend not to turn in the hole when I use them. So if you can get the spline ones, they're much better. Okay, let's put the rivnuts in. It works on the same sort of principle as the rivet gun itself, though unfortunately they're not interchangeable. So we'll screw our rivnut on there, leave a little bit of a gap there, and pop them in the hole that we've already deburred. Make sure it's all the way flush, and then just pull the handles tight. Once that's done, you screw him in a little bit more. Make sure he's all the way home, then back him out. That's it, job's done. Now we've got a hole in there with a riveted nut. They're fantastic for mounting not only onto fridges, but onto things like cars where you have to mount something in the engine bay and you can't access the other side of the inner fender wall or something like that. I use these all over four-wheel drives. They're absolutely fantastic. All right, I'll just put the other three in now. That one's already in. Another two. Now to install the ram, I've chosen a couple of mushroom head or button head Allen key stainless steel M6 screws. Only reason being is they're less likely to catch on clothing or the fridge bag or something like that. So I'll just pop all them in now. Okay, so now they say the proof is in the pudding, so I'll flip it up and see if it works. Okay, so I haven't tried this before, so let's give it a crack. Take that off. Oh, that's not bad. Now, one thing I've noticed is it's put my alignment out by a decent amount. I'll grab the camera and I'll show you. Alright, so everything's nicely lined up here. Latches go on, no problems. So she's open, and then when I shut it up again, I can't do up the latches, and it's tweaked right along the edge here, as you can see. So maybe our strut's a little bit strong. I mean, it's usable, but every time I want to shut the fridge, I don't want to have to push it to the side just so I can latch the thing down. And it's obviously because this is now pushing on here, and a little bit of slack in the hinges here. It's pushing this edge back, pulling this edge in, and not allowing me to close the lid properly, which is a bugger, but we'll work past that. Now, other than the tweaking to the side, it seems to be reasonably well thought out. So, one feature of the Engel is you can actually remove the lid, but if you've got the strut there, it might pose a bit of an issue without actually having to drag out the Allen keys here. So what they've done is they put in a quick release up the top here. Now, it's a bit hard to push, but you hope it would be, otherwise it might pop off on corrugations. Now, if you push that all the way to the one side, you can actually pull that off, and now you can get your lid off, no problems. And all you have to do is take your chain off, pull it to the side, and your lid comes right off. So you can give them a cleaning or whatever you need to do. Right, guys, so what do we think of the end? Well, as far as the installation goes, it's a 10 or 15 minute proposition. If you've ever used a rivet gun before, the rivnut gun will come naturally to you. If you've never used a rivnut gun before, you're a four-wheel driver. You need to put accessories on your vehicle. Do yourself a favour and go and get yourself one. They're absolutely fantastic. You'll wonder what you did without one after you get one. Now, the unit itself, obviously, it's the 150 Newton unit, and that's tweaking the lid to the side. I think it needs to be replaced with a 100 Newton unit. But other than that, we've got the quick release here. The quick release is fantastic, so we can actually get the lid off. Now, of course, when you've got the cover on, it's probably not going to zip up all the way, so that might be an issue if you want to zip up your lid all the way, but we know what the zips are like on the Engel covers, and they're atrocious, so not much of an issue really. But this is the best bit. Absolutely fantastic. So now when I've got the Engel in the back of the Zook and I don't have the clearance to lift it up all the way, I don't have to hold it with one hand or even my head while I put the milk and bread and whatnot in the fridge. And in the wind, I know it's come down on me in the wind before, and it's probably come down on you too, and whacked either your hand or your head. That's a thing of the past. So as far as I'm concerned, it's a win. Now guys, if you like this video, don't forget to give it the old thumbs up, and if you didn't, by all means, give it a thumbs down twice. Thanks guys, we'll see you in the next one. Guys, if you like this video, don't forget to give it the old thumbs up, and if you didn't, by all means, give it a thumbs down twice. Thanks guys, we'll see you in the next one. Only took 35 goes.